Welcome back to Investing Talk Podcast. We're here to tackle a question that quite a few of you have actually asked us to look into. Is Innodata a good time to buy now? We've pulled together a stack of recent reports, SEC filings, market analyses, really trying to get to grips with what's happening with this company. Before we jump in, though, just a quick favor. If you're enjoying these discussions, please do hit that subscribe button, maybe give us a like, and leave a comment. And definitely, if there's a specific company you'd like us to look into next time, just let us know in the comments below. Your input really helps us shape the show. So, Innodata, it's more than just a ticker, right? This company seems to be right in the thick of the whole AI revolution. It's certainly been making some noise.
That's absolutely right. When we talk about Innodata, we're looking at a significant player in, well, AI data engineering and also digital transformation. Understanding what they actually do, their core business, is absolutely crucial if you're trying to evaluate its investment potential, especially now things are moving so fast.
Okay, let's unpack that then. What exactly is Innodata doing that's getting all this buzz? What's the main thing here?
So Innodata provides these AI data engineering and digital transformation services. Think about all the data, oceans of it, that needs collecting, processing, refining, often labeling, just to train AI models properly. That's their real sweet spot. They're essentially, making sure the data plumbing for AI works correctly. And right now, demand for that is just huge.
Huge is right. And the numbers definitely seem to back that up. I saw Q2 2025 revenue was $58.4 million. That's up, 79% year over year? I mean, that's not just growth, that's explosive. You see numbers like that and you think, okay, something's definitely happening here.
Exactly. And what's really interesting isn't just the raw number, impressive as it is, it's the company's own confidence. They actually raised their full-year revenue guidance. They're now projecting organic revenue growth of at least 45% for 2025. That tells you it's not just market hype. It signals real solid project wins, especially with major tech clients. So for you, it suggests this growth has legs. It's backed by actual contracts.
Okay, so massive top-line growth backed by contracts. But are they managing this growth profitably? Sometimes growth like that can burn through cash, can't it?
That's a really good point to dig into. And, well, their Q1 2025 earnings report did indicate they're seeing continued margin improvement, which is key, right? It suggests they're not just chasing revenue, they're landing higher margin AI contracts, which are becoming a bigger slice of their sales pie. That's a very positive sign for sustainable profitability. We should add, though, that specific EPS figures for Q1 weren't right there in the summaries. You'd need to check the full FY 2024 10K for the nitty-gritty annual details.
Right, got it. So beyond the headline growth and improving margins, how is the overall financial health? Let's talk balance sheet. Is it solid?
Yeah, looking at their Q1 2025 balance sheet, Innodata actually appears pretty solid. Total assets were around $127.9 million against total liabilities of about $40.3 million. That leaves shareholders' equity around $87.6 million. That's a healthy equity base. Plus, they had about $27.1 million in cash and equivalents. And long-term debt, pretty manageable at $10.9 million. So, yeah, they seem to have financial flexibility.
Okay, so good cash position, debt seems under control. What about their ability to cover the day-to-day stuff? Short-term obligations, liquidity.
Their liquidity looks quite robust, actually. They've got a current ratio above 2x. Basically, it means their current assets are more than double their current liabilities, so plenty of cushion for short-term needs. And importantly, their operating cash flow for Q1 2025 was positive. They're generating cash from the actual business, not just financing activities.
Yeah, that paints a pretty strong picture financially.
Mm-hmm.
Now, shifting gears a bit, where do they fit in the industry landscape? Who are they up against, and what's their edge?
Well, Innodata operates in a really dynamic and frankly very crowded space. AI, data engineering, digital transformation, it moves incredibly fast. Their advantages, they seem to have proprietary data platforms, which is important. They also mention long-term contracts with major clients that gives some stability. And crucially, they were kind of an early mover in these AI data services, so they have that experience advantage.
Proprietary platforms. That sounds good, but how does that really help them fight off, say, a giant outsourcer like Genpact or even big tech's in-house teams? What makes their platform sticky?
That's a fair question. Often these platforms aren't just processing. They use machine learning themselves to automate tricky things like data labeling, making it faster and more accurate than purely manual work. For complex projects, big clients might prefer that specialized tech and expertise rather than trying to build it all internally, especially if data isn't their core business. It's like buying a specialized tool versus making it yourself.
Makes sense. But still, you said it's crowded. I imagine the competition is fierce, given how hot AI is right now.
Oh, absolutely. Fierce is the word. They're facing competition from multiple directions. You've got the big service outsourcers like Genpact, WNS, Scale. Then you have specialized AI platform providers, maybe focusing on niches. And yeah, the big tech companies themselves are building more internal capabilities, so Innodata constantly needs to prove its value and stay ahead technologically. It's a real challenge.
Okay, let's pivot then to the market view. What's the stock itself been doing? What does the technical picture tell us?
Well, over the last 30 days or so, Innodata is traded in a range roughly $32 to $40. There's been noticeable volatility, which isn't too surprising for a stock like this. Trading volumes have also been higher than average. For you as an investor, watching those support levels, maybe $32 to $34, and resistance around $39 to $42 could be useful. Helps gauge sentiment shifts.
Right, so definitely some movement, maybe a bit of roller coaster.
Yeah.
But what's the bigger trend? Is it generally pointing up, down, sideways?
The stock is trending well above its 200-day moving average. That's generally seen as a signal of a strong intermediate uptrend, so positive momentum over the medium term. Now, the relative strength index, the RSI, it's been a bit high in the 65 to 70 range. That suggests it might be getting close to overbought territory. Not extreme yet, but something to watch. The MAD indicator also supports the bullish momentum view, but again, hints at a possible near-term pullback if things cool off a bit. So, strong, yes, but maybe proceed with a little caution.
Strong momentum, but maybe yellow flag waving there. Okay, what about the smart money? Are the big institutions, the funds buying in? What are they doing?
Yes, that's often a key indicator for people. And here, it gets quite interesting. Back in July 2025, right after those strong Q2 earnings came out, several institutions, including names like Blue Shift Asset Management, KLP Capital for Vaulting, Victory Capital Management, they disclosed either new or significantly bigger positions in Innodata. That's a pretty strong vote of confidence from the institutional side. It suggests they see more upside. And we saw the impact, right? The stock jumped over 12% in August after earnings and that guidance raise.
Okay, so institutions seem keen. What about the analysts who cover the stock professionally? Are they on board too?
Historically, analyst coverage has been a bit limited, which itself can be a minor risk factor, less visibility. But the recent reports we saw from August reiterated strong buy ratings, and the average price target from those analysts was around $57.50. Compared to current levels, that implies, well, a potential 32% upside. So quite bullish. That also puts them ahead of some peers like Veritone in terms of analyst optimism. Social media sentiment forums and such also seems generally positive, mostly driven by the earnings, though you do see some chatter, some concerns about the valuation maybe getting a bit stretched after the big run-up.
Right, the valuation question always comes up with high-growth stocks. So given all this, what should we be watching for next? What are the potential catalysts that could really move the needle on Innodata stock soon?
In the near term, the big one is probably the Q3 2025 earnings release. That's expected around November 6th. Obviously, another strong report could boost the stock, a miss could hurt it. Beyond earnings, keep an eye out for any announcements of major new contract wins, particularly in those core AI data services. Those can be immediate movers. Also, less direct, but things like ETF rebalancing periods. The next one's around September 30th. That could lead to some increased buying from index funds. Those are some concrete things to watch.
Okay, those are the short-term triggers. What about looking further out, bigger picture, longer-term drivers?
Well, the biggest long-term driver is just the accelerating adoption of generative AI and the associated need for data labeling and engineering across almost every industry. It's a huge structural tailwind for companies like Innodata. There's also always the potential for M&A activity. Innodata is still relatively small in a consolidating sector. It could potentially be an attractive acquisition target for a larger tech player. And international expansion, pushing more into markets outside the U.S. could unlock significant new growth down the line.
I also saw some mention of more speculative catalyst, rumors, maybe. What's the buzz there?
Yes, the rumor mill. Well, there's talk about Innodata potentially deepening alliances with major cloud providers or AI vendors. Think like a closer tie-in with an AWS or a Google Cloud. That would be big. There's also speculation about maybe landing a large multi-year federal contract, perhaps related to secure AI training data, which is a growing government need. And yeah, the buyout candidate chatter persists because of their fast growth. Plus, potential regulatory tailwinds, if governments start mandating more focus on trusted, secure data engineering, that could benefit established players. These are more what-if scenarios, though.
Lots of what-ifs on the upside then. But we need balance. Let's talk about the other side, the risks. What are the key things investors really need to be wary of here?
absolutely crucial to consider the risks. Despite the impressive growth, there are definitely factors to watch. On the stock-specific side, one is customer concentration. A significant chunk of their revenue apparently comes from just a few large clients. Losing even one of those could have a disproportionate impact. That's a risk. There's also execution risk. Delivering complex AI projects on time and on budget isn't easy. Any slip-ups there could hurt their reputation and financials. And, as we discussed, that intense competition could potentially squeeze their margins over time if they can't maintain their differentiation.
Okay, those are company-specific risks. What about broader market or sector headwinds?
Definitely market risks too. Any significant slowdown in tech spending, or specifically in digital transformation projects, perhaps due to economic concerns, would hit their growth prospects directly. And there's the valuation risk we touched on. The stocks run up a lot. It's potentially vulnerable if the broader enthusiasm for AI, the AI hype factor, cools down even a bit, or if adoption doesn't meet those high expectations. Plus, that limited analyst coverage means maybe fewer eyes scrutinizing the company, which can sometimes allow issues to go unnoticed for longer.
Right, so we've covered the strong growth, the solid financials, the AI tailwinds, the institutional buying, but also the valuation concerns, the competition, customer concentration, and market risks. Bringing it all together then, back to our original question. Is Innodata a good buy now? What's the final take based on everything we've looked at?
Okay, let's try to synthesize this. Innodata clearly shows outstanding top-line growth. That 79% Q2 number is hard to ignore. They have a strengthened balance sheet, which is good foundational support, and they're riding powerful sector tailwinds from the whole AI boom. The guidance upgrades and that institutional interest are strong positive signals, suggesting the smart money still sees potential.
But as you said, it's not all clear skies. Those weaknesses and uncertainties need to be factored in, right?
Absolutely. The key weaknesses are arguably the valuation risk after such a strong rally, how much good news is already priced in. There's also the high volatility inherent in the stock and the sector, and that dependence on a super competitive, fast-changing AI industry is a constant pressure. Uncertainties linger around the limited analyst coverage, and critically, whether their long-term earnings power can keep pace if AI adoption slows, or they struggle with contract renewals down the road.
So given that mix of strong positives and significant cautions, what's the overall summary? The investment thesis in a nutshell.
The overall rating from the sources we reviewed seems to land at a 7 out of 10. And it's generally described as being best suited for short to medium-term trading. What that suggests is, yes, Innodata offers potential for outsized returns based on current momentum and the AI catalyst story, but the valuation and the execution risks mean it might warrant more caution for someone looking for a steady, long-term, buy-and-hold investment at these specific price levels. It's more of a tactical play on continued AI strength, perhaps.
A really interesting picture of Innodata. Incredible growth, definitely exciting potential tied to AI, but clearly some important risks and volatility to keep in mind. It really underscores how dynamic this whole AI investment space is right now.
It really does. It's a great case study showing that even with a really compelling growth narrative, you absolutely have to look at the full picture, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, before making any decisions. Nothing's ever guaranteed.
So think about this. Innodata is essentially building the sophisticated data pipelines that fuel the AI revolution. In this AI gold rush, where do you see the more enduring value with the companies creating the headline-grabbing AI models, or the ones like Innodata doing the essential, often unseen data work behind the scenes? How does that foundational layer fit into your view of the AI future? Thank you so much for joining us on Investing Talk Podcast. We hope this look at Innodata is giving you some valuable food for thought for your own investment research. Until next time, stay curious and keep learning.